Well, shmai everyone, how are you all? I'm back today with yet another project using Pampered pets. This brand new set from Stampin' Up has really inspired me. So far, I'll show you what I've made. I also make my own envelopes using, I got the We Are Memory Keepers envelope board. I got to be honest, this is absolutely fantastic because for the fancy folds that won't fit in a regular envelope, this is such a great way to use up your old designer series paper. So I made this one, a pop and twist card using the cats. I also made it using the dogs. There's my dog one. There it is. And I've got video tutorials for these, so I'll put those below. I also made this multi-panel accordion card using the dogs. There it is. So that's another project I've made with it. As you can see, my designer series paper is having a real bashing at the moment because I absolutely love how cute they are. Just dropped my envelope. So tonight, I know this is really weird now. I've been inspired by a box I had for cupcakes. And I know that sounds really bizarre. And it had like a little cellophane window and it had like a little window box. And I thought, only thinking, oh, I could incorporate that into an exploding box. So that's the front. And as you can see, I've got a little puddy cat looking out of the window there, looking at his friend. And I've got this one with this really miserable looking cat. I love him. I just love his attitude. And I've decorated it so it looks like a house. There it is. And then when you take the lid off, inside I've actually created a little cube which is I've covered in balloons, but I'm going to do something slightly different on the one I've got now. And I've got this set from the Poppy, what's it called? Peaceful Moments for that one. Then I use another one, the cats, and some of the designer paper. Hope Your Day's a Real Treat. That's from the Pampered Pets stamp set. And as you can see, I've used lots and lots of retired designer series paper. So let me show you again. So that's what the outer box looks like. That's the inner box. So then you put it all together. You put the little roof or the little lid on. And there it is. So I'm going to attempt that now using, of course, the dogs. My mother's dog would never forgive me if I just made a project using cats. So I'm going to show you what I've been using. I'm using the Playful Pets Designer Series paper. Ooh, I'm getting to the end. I don't think I've known of that yet. Then, to ink up my bricks, I used this old Stampin' Up one from Sizzix. I think it's Stampin' Up. Or was it the brick one? And I actually used, the first time, I've used my cinnamon cider, and I've just sponged that then to give the brick effect. The stamp set, I haven't actually stamped any of the pets yet because I've been using my designer series paper. This one, Wishing You Every Happiness This Special Day Will Bring, from Peaceful Moments. Then, to go in the front, go in the middle of this little box, I've cut a little tiny mini curvy keepsakes box because I thought then you could put some sweets, or if you were buying somebody like a Pandora charm, or what's the other one called? I can't think. It's gone out of my mind. Like a little charm you could put in there. I used the Pets dies, and to create my little window I used a really old set which is called, I can't read without my glasses on, Hearth and Home, and that cuts out a little tiny window and a little window box. So I'm going to put these now to one side. Apologies if you hear an avalanche. And I'm going to go through now what I've done so far. So I've got 12 by 12 cardstock. This one is 12 by 12. And I have scored it at 4 and 8. Then I've turned it around, scored it at 4 and 8 again. And the first thing I need to do is get rid of these corner pieces. So then it'll look like a big red cross. Like the cross they've got on the red cross things, that's what it's going to look like. I'm just going to put my glasses on now so I can see. It's quite important you try and cut really close to the lines here, because you are going to see the edges of your cut, if that makes sense. I'm using quite a thick cardstock. It's actually Basil Marshmallow, because I didn't have any Stampin' Up 12 by 12 white cardstock. And because I'm using, once again, a retired Designer Series paper paper pad, it didn't go with the red that I had. So you'll see what I mean now when I say it looks like a cross. Like that. Okay, so that's the bottom one. Okay, I'll keep these squares then for another project. I don't throw any pieces like that away. Then this piece of cardstock is 9 by 9, and I've scored it at 3 and 6, then turned it, scored it at 3 and 6 again. So once again I'm going to cut those corner ones out. Apologies if you can hear the rain on my attic windows. It's been a pretty foul day today. So just take out all these corners out. So once again then it looks like a big cross. There we go. Oh, let's try that again. There. So that's what it's going to look like there. I also made my lid. Now my lid is, I think it's just over, like a smidgen over 6 inches squared, and I've scored it at 1 inch, turned it, scored it at 1 inch, turned it till I did all 4 sides. Then you go into cut a little tiny notch, like so, straight down that side, and then just tapering on that side. Make sure your tapering in goes on the flap that you're sticking underneath, because otherwise you'll see it. So straight there, taper in there, straight there, taper in there, because you'll be hiding this piece underneath then. Straight there, taper in there. Okay, so I'm going to stick this ready because it'll need a little bit of time to dry, so I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow. Let me just make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm sure my Tombow gets camera shy, because as soon as I try to use it on camera, it never works. So I'm just going to hold it, then bring in my little peg, the girl's best friend on her craft desk, and then I just keep my peg on there until it's set, until that glue is dried and kept it in place, like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, just a little bit there. Try not to go too mad with it, because you don't want it squirting all out the sides and making a mess. Then bring in my little pegs again. Okay, so that's going to be the roof of our little house. Don't often see houses with pink roofs, but perhaps we should. There we go. Right, before I do anything then, I need to cut out my window section. This was probably the fiddliest part of it, because, there we go, I'm going to bring my trimmer in. And the difficulty is, obviously, you can't get it all in. So I lined it up coming into the trimmer at 1 inch, and then I'm going to score from 1 to 3. Okay, 1 to 3. Then I brought it in to, now this is where it gets a little bit tricksy. So I brought it into 4 inches. No, I didn't bring it into 4 inches at all. 2 inches was it? Oh no, look at me, I'm arguing with myself now. 2 inches, that's right. So I brought it into 2 inches, and then once again went from 3 to 1, or 1 to 3, like that. And that's all you need to do then, is cut from the one to the other. So line it once again with 1. There we go. Now I've gone over slightly, but that's okay because it's going to be covered. I'm going to bring it down to this end then, just to make it a little bit easier for myself. Okay. And then, if it hasn't cut out perfectly, just give it a little bit of a snip. Okay. So my window then, as you see, I'll only need half of it. And I'm going to bring it down here because I've got a little window box then that's going to go across the front. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to score. What have I done with my bone folder? Is one of those things. It's like my Tim Holster stress tool. I never ever find them. There we go. And because it's a nice thick cardstock, it'll hold its shape. The one the very first one I did of this, not the one I showed you tonight, it was too floppy. So then I'm bringing in some of my, what do you call that? Embossed pieces. Oh my word. I think the idea here is don't film videos late on a Saturday night because your brain doesn't work, Nicola. There we go. So I'm just going to stick that down first because that then will help me work out the placement for my window box and my window. So obviously I want, then again I could have that there actually. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Look at me, discussion with myself on film. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. Let's do it. Because then I can, this part then can be hidden underneath my little window box. Now I'm thinking that window box now might need a little bit of colour on it because when I first started to make all the things for this card, I thought I was going to do it in the red again. So I might just get my Flirty Flamingo, like that. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of colour to my window box. And I've just got a little bit, I don't want it to be really, really pink. I'm just doing it off screen here on a bit of plastic, not to dirty my, oh my word, my desk. Right, here we go. So I've just given that a little tiny bit of colour. So I'm going to bring that back here then, like this. And I'm just sticking that on with foam pads, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And I was inspired to make this one with the dog because my mum has got a Westie, Izzy, who will spend all day looking out of the window and barking at dogs and cats or anyone who actually dares to walk past the window. She's a fantastic guard dog though. I think she can tell when there's a parcel coming before they've even turned into the street. I'm just going to make sure now that covers the bottom part there. There we are. Right then, my one little dog is going in there, looking out of the window, looking really cute. There we go. I'm going to put this one. Now actually, Izzy is a Westie. And we've had, she's our 6th Westie actually, our 6th family Westie. And they've all loved looking out of the window. But I think for her, it is her favourite pastime. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on his head. I'm sorry, I'm working off screen again. And he is going to be then outside the house looking in. Like this. Oh my goodness. Like that. So I've got foam pads on his body, but a bit of glue on his head because I raised this forward. And she's going to have a little bit of glue across her bottom. Like that. And she's going to be sat inside the window looking out. Like that. Like Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to quickly decorate all the panels. The video back on, the heavens have absolutely opened. So as you can see, I've decorated the outside of my house, and I've decorated the inside, and I've decorated all sides of these. These are just under 4" squared. These are just under 3" squared. So all I need to do then is I'm going to decorate these little pieces and then stick my little doggies on. So first then I think I'll put the dogs on the outside first. So I've got this fellow here. I love him. This Great Dane. Looks like he's having a bit of a laugh outside. I must be honest, Izzy would, well, she'd jump out of her skin, I think, if she ever met a Great Dane. She is the biggest wimp ever. There we go. So here's him. He's going there. Then I've got him to go in. These to go inside. Then I'm going to put this grumpy looking one here. It's quite grumpy as well, isn't he? There's a grumpy cat one and a grumpy dog. Like that. And I think at the back I'm actually going to put this one. This little sausage dog across there. And then all I keep trying to do then is just bending these back in. The weight, when it opens, will pull it down, so that's no problem. Then I'm going to stick my sentiments. I hope you, oops, I haven't trimmed that one down. I hope your day is a real treat. Here it comes again. I'm amazed we haven't got webbed feet at the moment. So that one I'm putting there. I haven't trimmed this one down either. I thought I was so prepared as well. Just trim these down now. Oh, nearly stuck it upside down. That would have been a disaster. Here we go. I'm just going to use a bit of double-sided. My ATG gun is out of tape, so I'm having to resort to the old-fashioned way. I love my ATG gun. There we go. Just making sure. So that's going there. Then, now obviously if you wanted to, you could put, if they were mad about their pet and you had photos, you could put photos of their own pet in it, which would be lovely. I've made these especially for baby announcements, baby births, and you can fill it with photos then as well. You can have as many layers to your boxes as you like you could have 3 different exploding boxes, one in the other. Oh, nearly stuck the wrong side. As long as you can divide the size of your cardstock by 3, then it'll work. That's what I've discovered. And I'm not the greatest mathematician, so it must have been easy to work out. I'm going to stick this little dog then on this one here. And this little dog. Obviously they're not the sort of cards you can send in the post, but they are great. You could include a gift card, or as I say, some sweets or a charm, pair of earrings, things like that. They're just really handy little gift boxes. The next thing we need to do then is turn it over and cover this part with glue, because we're going to stick that in the big box. There it is. Bring it in then and just line it up so it's in the centre. And as you can see, I've just used old designer series paper because I still like it. There's no point not using it. So I'm just going to put that little box in for now. Now if you wanted to, with the other one I did, with this one, I actually stuck the box in and I covered it with balloons. But I just wanted to show a different way, just to show you that the little mini curvy keepsake box will actually fit in beautifully. And then that's what you do, just pick it all up like this. This is when you need a few hands, and put your lid on. And then, so there's the outside of the box, like that, with the little friends waiting for it to come out to play. And then when the recipient takes the lid off, now you can also decorate the lid, but I'm keeping it, I wanted it to look like a roof, so that's why I've kept it. And that's the inside of the box. And as I say, you could put something in there, or you could put an actual gift box in there, or you could, a gift card would fit sideways. And there we go. There we are. So how cute is that? As I say, if you wanted to, you could have 12 by 12 square. Then you could have a 9 by 9, you could have 6 by 6, so the boxes could get smaller and smaller. So it would be a bit like the babushka dolls, where they're all inside each, not babushka, Russian dolls, just like those. So, thank you so much for joining me. Huge welcome to all my new subscribers. It's been lovely to see the numbers rise. If you are visiting off Pinterest or Instagram, I'd love it if you could subscribe, and if you hit the little notification bell, it'll tell you when my next video goes live. And take care everyone. There we go, there's our little houses. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Hwyl fawr.